begins right where we are, and that's how we bring it into the world, from right where we are. So, thank you, Patrick. So I have a quote today. It's from Ernest Holmes, and he used to say there's only one life. That life is God's life. But it's not just good to just say there's only one life, that life is God's life. You have to complete it. And so the completion is that life is perfect. That life is my life now. That's the most important part. That life is my life now. For we believe that God is incarnated in each and every one of us. That's who we are. And as we look at each other, we look into the eyes of God. So there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. So just take a deep breath and breathe into that thought. It's in your program with you on the quote of the week. You want to look at it again. And just feel the essence of the present moment and allow yourself to just drift away with that thought. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now.
Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things.
There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. Sing with me. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael and Carrie. So welcome everyone to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. Thank you for coming and sharing your consciousness with us today. and to enjoy this community together and to raise ourselves and raise the world to a higher level by just knowing who and what we are. That's what we do here every Sunday, to remember who and what we are, and to take that into our lives and live from that highest point of view in everything that we speak, we think, and we do in our lives. So that's what I know today is about, and I'm grateful to know that.
Yes, and who's here for the very, very first time? You know who you are, so you cannot dare. I see two over there. I know two, and welcome. And we also have Caleb. Little Caleb is in the other room with Janice today, so that's Erica and Naomi's little one in there. So who else is here for the first time? Just so you'll know, we have a few things we found out about you. And we like, just kidding. Oh, they were like booting to the door, and they would have, but their baby's still right there. But this is, they were like, did you say something? So what I know about this is we know something great, and we're here to share it with you. So shall we?
You are magnificent!
But you knew that.
It's nice relief, isn't it? When you hear that? Yeah. So what we know about that is we can't know that about you unless we know it about ourselves. So we all join together with that.
I am magnificent!
Now, just share that with somebody to your left or right behind you, whatever it is. Just let them know how magnificent.
You are magnificent. You are magnificent.
All righty.
All right.
That's not enough of magnificent.
More of that later. So with that, I think we're ready for our opening song. So take us away.
Shall we stand up or?
Yeah,
everybody
stand up.
Stand good.
If it feels good, stand up.
If it doesn't feel good, why do it?
Here we go.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to open my heart. To open my heart. To open my heart. To open my heart. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to open my heart. To open my heart. To open my heart. To open my heart. Peace lives inside me now. No more living in fear. When I reach my hands and touch the earth, I remember why I'm here. That's why I'm ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to open my heart. Open my heart, open my heart, open my heart. I am ready, I am ready, I am ready, I am ready to open my heart, to open my heart, to open my heart, to open my heart.
I am ready to open my heart right here and right now. I know that for each and every one of us, our hearts are open and ready to receive all the divine influx that is moving and living and breathing through each and every one of us in our own individualized way. I know today awakens a more awareness of that as we go through this time together, this community, this service, this love that we share. And I know it is good and more good and more good. So I just release this time. I let Spirit do the work through me, through each and every one of us, as I give great gratitude in advance for what occurs here, knowing it is wonderful, as we say together, and so it is.
This last time, let's say, we are ready. Here we go.
I like it.
1, 2, 3.
We are ready. We are ready. We are ready. We are ready to open our hearts. 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 To open our hearts.
global community. And there are centers for spiritual living all over the place, all over the world. And more and more frequently, we get the opportunity to have a visiting practitioner here, and we do today. Laura Stewart is here, and she's going to share. She's here with her husband, Greg, and they're vacationing, and it's always so wonderful when they say, oh, we'll be glad to be in service today. So she's in service, and she's just going to share herself in a spiritual mind treatment with us today. So.
Hello.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, the view is really nice from up here. My name is Laura Stewart, and as Reverend Rita said, my husband and I are visiting from Southern Oregon. We're members of the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, where I've been a practitioner for the last 2 years. And I love the fact that you can walk into any CSL anywhere and you're immediately at home. I mean, it's so centering and so wonderful and loving and all-inclusive. And I've got to tell you that the vibration and the energy at this center is frickin' through the roof. It's just, oh, I want to move here. We say that every year. And what's interesting is I love this philosophy. I love what it's done to expand my consciousness. And it is a philosophy that we get to use every single day. When we came here, I was so excited to just get into that vacation mode and relax and just kind of leave everything back where it was. And then I get an email on Tuesday, and my minister has decided to move on to another community. And I immediately went into me mode. What does this mean for me? How is this going to impact me? Gosh darn it! Who's going to sign off on my credits this summer? But it didn't take very long to suddenly remember who I am. And to remember that there is only one life, and that life is God's life, that life is perfect. That life is my life now, every single minute of the day. And then it didn't matter anymore. So, remembering who we are as we move in this world is our greatest testament to this belief that we call religious science. I invite you all to breathe in, centering yourself in that knowingness, in that divine presence, which is all there is. There is only God, and absolutely nothing else. God is the air we breathe. God is the light that warms our skin. God is the thinker, the thought, and the thing itself. God is the endless creativity flowing through each and every one of us. Knowing that there is only God, I know that I am inseparably one with God. All that God is, I am. And as I speak this truth for myself, I speak this for every single person in this room, every single divine Godhead, here and outside of this room and into the world and infinity and beyond. For I know that we are the delight of God shown up in the world, each and every one of us. We are the light of God. We are the life of God. We are the love of God. Oh, God takes great delight in being us in this world. And as we move through the world, knowing who we are, our possibilities in expressing that divinity and greatness are unlimited. The only thing that binds us are our own thoughts, our own erroneous belief systems that may try to tell us on occasion that we're anything less than the greatness of the divine in this world. So I invite you all to release any of those false beliefs, any of those inklings that may say you're anything but great, because you are God. We are God. And I give great thanks knowing that this word of divine spirit moving through me is the truth for myself and everyone in this world. It is manifesting right here and right now. Because this is the only place it can be, is right here and right now as us. Oh, I invite you all to give thanks and to never forget who you are as we release this word into the law that always says yes, for the good of all, for the harm of none. It is so and so is. So it is. Yeah. Would you like another ring?
Let's make a deal. Oh, thank you so much. It is so wonderful when this type of energy just walks through your door and just presents itself up here, and you're just a shining example of that. So, mahalo, mahalo. So speaking of shining examples, wow, you guys are good. You guys are good. Don't have to take it. Here we go.
We learn from the best.
Yeah, and week after week. So they don't even need an introduction, but I think we should. Carrie and Michael, and special, right, Carrie? Music.
Oh, yeah.
I'd just like to say, yesterday we had a memorial service here for Matt Tester. He passed away into another beautiful place. And long story short, during that week I was singing a lot. But yesterday was a really sad day for me. I was just like, oh. And I wrote this song for Matt and for others that have transitioned to a new beautiful place. But as I sing this today, yesterday we sang it in the memorial service, and it was just gloomy. But I'm going to sing this song in a different way for him today, and for all of us. Maybe somebody has transitioned in their lives, but in a celebratory way, not in this sad way I was feeling yesterday, because I'm actually so happy for the new place that this beautiful soul bro, is that right? So let's do a little different. So, Matt, and to all those beautiful souls that are in a place we will join them soon. Well, a couple hundred years. My word is one.
would never come and sit delight in the shade of the morning sun. But morning sun is the force that brings me near to the love you gave while you were here. I used to think that the day would never come, that your life would depend on the morning sun.
Wow. It's even more of a wow today. We had a wonderful day yesterday, but I had a beautiful moment with Caleb, who was standing over there, and I was hearing that song, and I was thinking of Matt and transitioning, and then I saw this burst of life just expressing itself, and I just went, wow, this is what it is all about. Just on note of yesterday, we did have this wonderful celebration of life. And I think what's great about that is it really should be a celebration of life. I know that there's the idea of death and all of that stuff, you know, gets people in different, everyone acts differently with it. And I will get us all out of that, not soon, but we will be following in some of those footsteps. And I had said that yesterday in a prayer, and everyone laughed. I said, we will be following you soon. And then everyone went, no. No, zip it. Your word is power. But what I did learn about yesterday, yeah, exactly. What I did learn, you have to believe it. It's done unto you as you believe. Just remember that. But most thing that I learned about yesterday and I thought about this morning was, let's not wait for a memorial to tell somebody how brilliant they are.
I love you, Patrick.
Thank you. Oh, I wasn't fishing for compliments.
We love you.
Please,
Rita.
I haven't talked to you here. Anyway, wow, you know, the group gets, as it grows, it gets more and more unrest. You know what I'm saying? But what I know about that, and I woke up this morning thinking that what would people say about me, because it could come back to me for a moment, if it were me. And I thought to myself, that's not ego-based, that's just taking an assessment of my life. Because whatever it is that I would want you to say about me, let's make sure I'm living it today. And that is what it was for. So today, last week we were talking a little bit about commitment level to the point of no return. And everyone had seemed to resonate to that idea that you're taking your commitment level to a point of no return. What does that mean? What does that feel like to have no return? And last week, I didn't talk a little bit about my experience at the Hindu monastery during the sacred journey. And Reverend Jonathan, he was here last week, he was actually talking about it today with his congregation. I was like, wow. So I wanted to just share with you just my experience about taking it to the point of no return. And what I think about that when I say that is my belief. What do I believe in that can't be shaken? And I have realized that we have lived our lives, at least I have, forget the we. I've lived my life trying to make nice throughout my life. Has anybody ever felt that? You got to nice, because if you don't nice, you won't be liked, right? But now I know I'm loved, Kelly, so now I'm okay. But this nice, and I say that not from a place of, you know, anger or anything like that, but I do feel that it can go a little bit overboard. And what I know about that is when I was at the Hindu monastery, Rita had not been with me that day. And what I've learned about being co-spiritual directors is that there comes a time when you need to just stand there. Exactly. You need to just stand in your own presence. And I had the opportunity that day with Maureen, who we were up there with these 25, 30 wonderful people. And I felt a little spiritually grilled in the beginning because it was really bizarre. I was in a circle waiting for the Swami to come up and talk to us. And I was in the middle, and he said, you know, it wasn't the Swami of this one, it was the other gentleman, and he said, I know nothing about you. I don't even know why you're here. I'm thinking, oh boy. So I've got my colleagues in a circle around me. So tell me what you believe. And I'm thinking, where the hell's Rita? Oh, where is Rita? So I'm standing there like catapulted back into a little altar boy going, ah. And so I stood there and I just said, what we believe in is the oneness, the same, but we don't believe in separate deities, and there is no mediator between myself and God. And then I'm like, and then it was like, oh, okay, go on. And then I'm looking at everyone around me, and they're like, uh-huh. So I went on to say that we believe that everything is from inside out, and it's the self meeting the self. So then I went, alrighty. Until the Swami had the private meeting with us, and it continued. And this gentleman was satisfied, and we went to the Swami. We're all sitting on the floor. It was just such a beautiful, wasn't it, experience? Oh my God. So you're sitting there, and I'm thinking, well, I need to ask a question because there wasn't a lot of questions being asked. And I said, excuse me, you speak a lot of the inner worlds. Can you speak to us about that idea of inner worlds? Different, because ours is the inside out, and I thought, just like to know a little bit more of that. And he said, oh, that would be fine. But before that, I have a question for you. And I said, where is Rita? This is getting really old here. So I sat there in my ministerial glow, going, oh no. And he said, I want to ask you about what you mean by the inside out. And I said, well, I believe that it is the self meeting the self. And that's exactly what we believe. And he said, so, what you're saying is, you believe that you are the center of the universe. And that moment was just breathtaking, because nobody was taking a breath. And it was that moment, the little boy inside's going, I'm in trouble. And I'm thinking, oh my God. Do I make nice? What do I do? And I heard this. It was such divine. He said, just tell the truth, man. And I said, yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. And he said, you can come to the front of the class. And I went, oh. My little boy was like, oh. Man, you could have gotten us in some trouble, dude. What are you doing here? Because there comes a time when we must stand by that point of no return, that you must believe in something so deeply that even when someone says that they don't, that you're okay with that. And I have had that. I just got an email this morning or yesterday saying, I've been to your center and don't believe in what you're teaching. And then immediately, because we're transparent here, I wanted to be like, does that matter? No, Swami. And what it does, what do they mean they don't? Weren't they in the same room I was in? And then I said, it's not about me. Yeah, I went, oh, yes. I know who I am and what I believe in. And that's the teaching. That is the philosophy of this, is allowing yourself to tell your truth and to love no matter what. And when someone says, I don't like that, even yesterday, we had people with different beliefs, that Jesus was the intermediate, and that Jesus was here and that was fine, because Jesus is a powerful being. And just because I believe that I don't need, anything in between to get to God, doesn't mean that someone else does. Ernest Holmes has always said, you never take away someone's God. You don't have a right to do that. You have only a right to speak your own truth. And what I know is that my God has lived out of myself long enough. And I don't beg and I don't negotiate with God anymore. Because God is who I am and expresses with such love and power, and that's okay. So to end this wonderful little time together, the point of no return is when we know that we continue to just look at this world as good, as an ambassador of goodness. I believe that if all I ever looked for was the good, no matter what is happening in my life, I will find it. You ever found that to be true in your life?
Yes.
Think about it long enough and it'll be there. Well, I have a prop. I found good at Home Depot. And I wasn't going to use this today, but I thought, yes, this is what is about that point of no return. I walked in there, and everyone knows how handy I am around the house. It's not that bad. But this is what I know, is that a lot of people can take a piece of wood and turn it into anything, right? That's not me. And that's okay. But I walked into Home Depot because there's a TV that I wanted to be elevated, but we didn't have anything, so I thought we'd get a little blocked. So Rita and I walk in, and I said, what I'm looking for is this little block. And he goes, oh, I get it. I had to do it with my TV too. He goes, just get 3 or 4 pieces of plywood. And I'm like going, and so he must have seen that look of terror in my face. And I was like, that's not going to happen because you have to cut it and measure. My dad was a carpenter, that's scary. But so was Jesus's. Yeah, so was Jesus. So what happens with this is he said, let me build you a couple of these. And I went, what? Home Depot, not Rob or Kelly. I was like, what? And he said, he goes, I have an idea. He goes, just let me build this. I got some screws in. And I stood there for an hour as he built 2 of these so that we could put the TV on it. And I was still in awe of finding that kind of an experience at Home Depot. And what was interesting is when I was checking out, and then I got into that fear mode. Oh, how much is he going to charge me? I thought it's going to be like $100 to do what he's doing. You know, he's going, under $8, whatever. And then he said, at the very end, I take it up to the check stand. And I'm thinking, because I'm feeling very, very blessed at the moment. And so she looks in there and she sees 3 pieces of wood, plywood, and she said, what is that? And I looked at her and I said, kindness.
Aww.
Kindness. That this young man looked at me and said, oh, poor guy. No, he looked at me and he said, I will create this for this gentleman. So when you are putting out into the universe that you want something, get out of the way of the house. Because your gift, man, might be waiting right at Home Depot. And you don't even know it. But if I had said how this was supposed to appear, I wouldn't have had a clue, and you all would have been waiting a long time to me. Get out of the way. Go to that point of no return where you take your intention and you fling it out into the universal flow of life, and you let that law take care of this part of it. Namaste. I'm handy at other things, honey.
Oh, don't go there. Okay. Whew. What can you say after that, huh? I'll keep it brief. So, yesterday was an interesting day, and it was a very mind-shifting day for me. And the idea of the point of no return is about, for me, about getting a new idea. You know, I guess it was Oliver Wendell Holmes that said, a mind once expanded by a new idea never returns to its original size. And then I heard about someone else that said that we think we're thinking new ideas, but what we're really rehashing is old ideas. Like we very rarely have a new idea. We think we are thinking new ideas and we're just thinking the same old pattern again. So I'm wondering for myself how much I have done that in the past, and I think back on it and I go, I get what they're saying. You think you're thinking something new, but what you're doing in your mind is just rehashing the past. I don't want to do that anymore. So as I was preparing for the service yesterday for Matt, I was like, okay, I haven't died. I haven't even had a near-death experience. How do I stand up in front of somebody and make them feel comforted? And the only thing I have to go by, and the only thing we all have to go by, is what we believe and what we feel. And I found this beautiful quote by Ernest Holmes that said, so far as I'm concerned, and he was talking about immortality, nothing can exist to me unless I am aware of it. While I believe in other men's revelations, I am sure only of my own. One cannot doubt that which he knows to be so, and why should he deny the evidence of his senses, his reason, and his personal experiences? So I could stand up here and tell you what I think about death, or tell you what I think about this, or this is the philosophy for you, but I can't really do that. It's something that we each have to do individually, and we each have to find that place within us that believes what we believe, and then live by it. So yesterday I had an interesting experience with this. I got an understanding, a new idea. When I listened to Kelly speak, and I listened to Matt's co-workers speak, and I listened to Deborah, and all these people talking about these personal experiences that they'd had with Matt up to the point, of him visiting them and the consciousness and being aware, and I was like, wow. In that moment, I had this new idea, and it's not a new idea, but it was a new idea to me. I understood what it was meant. Yes. Yeah. It's okay. I understood. All right, it's coming. I understood what was meant by the omnipresence. We are told that there is an omnipresence, which means that it is present everywhere in all its totality. It's present everywhere all the time in all its totality. So when we say we are God, the presence of God is within us in all its totality. So I was like, that must be what happens when we leave these bodies and we don't have this finite thing happening anymore. That's why Matt could be everywhere present, because he's in that omnipresence. Does this make sense? It's really good. I think what Jeanette and I were talking before the service yesterday, and we were talking about how it's a celebration of life, but we still feel sad, and of course we feel sad because people will leave us and we don't see them, like we can't touch them like this, but it's because we're trying to touch them in a way that's not the way that we can touch them. We have to be able to it's all thought, it's all heart, it's all feeling. And we said, someday we'll really know that. And then Jeanette and I looked at each other and we said, why can't that day be today? Why can't we know it today? It's like Patrick says, we have to learn the new language. So, the new language, to speak to each other, to speak to those that have parted, to speak in a way that's just our heart and our feeling. And we can be anywhere we want to be, by just being there in our consciousness. That's why it's so important how we hold our consciousness, because we are affecting everything on this planet and beyond. We don't even know. We don't even know what we're affecting. When people don't show up we were waiting for the service yesterday, and there wasn't a whole lot of people, and I just looked at, I don't know who I was talking to, I go, and then Patrick and I have always felt this, we don't even know who's in the chairs in here. We don't know, because we just are seeing with our finite eyes. So I'm having this epiphany yesterday, and I'm feeling it, and for me it's a point of no return, because I want to take it now and move forward with it and really live my life from that place. Because what I believe is that there's no stopping to what we can know and understand. That's what it means to be open at the top. That's what Ernest Holmes, one of his philosophy, he said it was open at the top, which means we're open to know more. We're open to this divine influx, this power, this energy source, it's an intelligence that knows everything, and it's pouring itself through us. I mean, a simple example would be like electricity. It's always been here, but somebody had to like catch the idea of it before it could be made manifest, and that's what we're doing. We're creative beings. So just feel that and understand that this energy and this source is just pouring through us at all times. And we just get to open up and just catch God's idea. God's idea. We're God's idea. So I love this new feeling that I have. And I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for it. And Carrie and I are going to sing a song. It has really, we sang it yesterday, but it has a new meaning today. And the new meaning for me is that all of us are on this path together. I said we're like soul, we're a soul group. And we don't know, like, if we, I see Laura and Greg today, but when am I going to see them again? But they're here in this moment. And my life's been changed because you've been here. You know? And that's the way it is all the time. We can have moments with people, we can have lifetimes with them. But we always have eternity with them, because that's who we are, eternal. So we are going to sing this beautiful song for you. And just sit back and enjoy. It's a long introduction. It's okay, I like it. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and they help us in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I am who I am today because I met you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Well, maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind of the sea,
like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. I was passing by a window of the sea, like a stream that leads a boulder halfway through the world. Who can say I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Michael. Oh my God. Thank you, everyone. Thank
You never
you.
know what's going to happen
Thank you,
here.
God. You don't know. You just know it's going to be good.
So this is our time of affirmative giving. And what I know about that is that this is that opportunity for you to take whatever it is that you're putting in this basket. It's all God in action. And this consciousness, take that moment just to put that over the basket. Just take a moment to say, yes, I'm giving out. That's what it's really about.
And 10% of what you give us today goes out into the world. And this month it went to the Hindu monastery and also to Easter Seals, Hawaii, in honor of Matt.
Yes.
So thank you very much in advance for helping this ministry to grow.
Yes,
Thank you.
that it is.
And we have a song. Oh, well, we have an affirmation first. And there it is. It's divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I give it freely today, knowing it returns to me abundantly. I see you, you see me. Now is the time to set our hearts free. We come to shine, shine, shine. We come to shine, shine, shine. And live in gratitude. Gotta breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe. Live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, for the air that I breathe. To live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life, the air that I breathe. To live abundantly. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in and the air that I breathe, to live abundantly.
So what I know right here and right now is, yes, we are breathing in this moment of prosperity and abundance and love and creativity. I know it's who we are. I give thanks for everything that is shared here today in this basket, in this consciousness, in this room and beyond. And I'm just so grateful. And I know everything, just as we give and as we receive, is multiplied abundantly. There is no stoppage to spirit. It's just pouring through us in all its grandness, in all its glory, and all its love. And I just give thanks, as we say together. And so it is. Come.
Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. Breathe in this moment, breathe in this life. I give thanks for life and the air that I breathe, to live abundantly.
So, staying in the consciousness of thankfulness, we want to give thanks for all the people that served today.
But before that, I just want to remind you of our Yes Box, better known as our Spiritual Mind Treatment Box. And what that is that if anything's come up for you today or something that, like a house, or you need to work on a few things like that, and just let us know that. And what we do is we stay in consciousness with that. And we just know that the moment it goes in our little Yes Box over there and you closes it, it's done. Because there is no time or space in the mind of God. So there you go. So just know that's available for you. And our greeters, the purple, what are they?
Purple people greeters. Mary and Glenn, that was, in case you don't know their names. We don't want to call them the purple people greeters.
And Roseanne for everything that she does. She's on our board, but now she's doing great something right off. But she also does her programs every week and just a whole list of everything. And Rob back there.
Yes, Rob. Thank you, Rob.
Sound man over there. Thank you so much for live streaming.
It's been a long process getting this live streaming up, and I just thank you for your patience, Rob, and really seeing it through, and Michael for helping, and Jonathan, who finally brought it all to a conclusion last week, I think.
Right. And next to them is Marco back there. Is not only great at Kaua'i on Mondays at 9:30 across the street, but also last week we had a little glitch and he came diving in and had a
the service for us.
Service for us, and we
Uploaded.
put it up on the Facebook. So thank you, because a lot of people really wanted to see that, and also for getting the ordination. He filmed that and got that out as well. So thank you for your continued
Thank you, Marco.
And Loya, who looks like a flower today, because she got flowers
She
in her
had
hair.
an amazing birthday party.
That's right, happy birthday. And these beautiful flowers from yesterday carried over today, and we thank you. And Stephanie is working the bookstore. Thank you so much, and also for bringing the flowers. And last but not least, Harry and Michael.
I want to thank my co-spiritual director, Patrick Feren.
I love you too. We're a team.
We're a team.
Beautiful. Okay, enough of us.
Okay, are we ready?
Oh, my baby! Oh my God, you're my baby.
Oh!
We almost forgot to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura,
so
that was
much.
wonderful.
Laura. Thank you, Laura. Just so you know, you have someone who has your back. Because Laura's back there going. That's how we do it here.
Well,
That's how we.
Janice, thank you for holding the consciousness for the children all the
Yes,
time.
thank you. Welcome.
All right, good. Let's, yes.
Thank you, Rita.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
You missed me. I love you. Yeah. It was.
You can thank me again, that's all right.
So we have a 2-hour service now. That will be.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
Shall we?
Hold it up.
Rita.
Stand.
All right, you guys want to stand up?
Yes, they do.
Let's rock out the house.
This is the Faith Rivera version of this little line of mine, so it's a little different.
Come on.
gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, oh let it shine. Shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine, everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go.
There we go.
I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, oh, let it shine. Shine, shine, everybody. Shine, shine, you know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine.
When there's light in the soul,
There's light in the soul.
there's beauty in the person.
Beauty in the
When there's
person.
beauty in the person,
Beauty in the person.
there's harmony in the home.
There's harmony in the home.
When there's harmony in the home,
When there's harmony in the
there's
home.
honor in the nation.
There's honor in the
When
nation.
there's honor in the nation,
There's honor in the nation.
there is peace
In the world.
Who am I to get my trumpet?
Oh, that's me. I was so involved in that music and driving Leslie, I forgot about the fact that we're saying goodbye right now, aren't we? So what I know is that we are family. There's no right or wrong, people. Just remember who you love. And what I know about you is you're all loved. Each and every one of us are loved right here, expressing God, expressing good, expressing tambourines, expressing music, expressing life. That's what it's all about. And we're not waiting for anything. Today is the celebration of life for each and every one of us, knowing and remembering who we are, and we are loved from that very center. And we do not keep it in. We give it. We share it. We are it. We are loved. Can you say it? I am loved.
I am loved.
I am peace.
I am peace.
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
And knowing that, we take it out into the streets. We let it go from the law of our being. As together we say, and so it is.
1, 2, 3, 4. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear.
We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Shine, shine. Everybody. Shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. All around the world. Shine,
Try to be a little more lively next Sunday.
Nice to meet you. Great job, everybody. Oh, thank you.